Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, hey guys, this is Marc Goldberg with another exciting episode of Viewer Mail. And you will know from the title of this video that we are going to be talking about one of my balls, my blue ball. In fact, at this time, I only have one ball. Used to have two, sold the hydrocarbon master engineered dive watch, and now we're going to talk about the Worldtimer. So listen, it's going to be exactly what you expect, but let's go ahead and get the quick fist watch check out of the way, and then we will jump into this video. Here we go. Today, as you might have imagined, indeed I am wearing the subject of this video. It is a, well, before I get into the specs and all, let's knock out a few details first. So first of all, thank you for joining me. I would really like to thank you for being a member of my family, or at the very least watching this video. If it's your first time, please do me a favor and throw the YouTube gods, some raw meat and subscribe to this channel. That will help me enormously. If you're already a subscriber, thank you. Throw down a comment and a like. Again, thank you for being here. Okay, Dani has asked me a question, and so real quick, viewer mail. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video, let's quick talk about the concept of viewer mail. You do not have to send me money for me to answer your question. I'm happy to do it for free, and so you send your questions here. And if by any chance you're interested in supporting the channel in a monetary way and buying Jupiter a little bit of cat food, hey, take a quick look at Jupiter. So yeah, if you want to buy Jupiter a bag of cat food, donations are gratefully accepted here. Okay, Dani, let's read Dani's letter. Hey Marc, I am a solid viewer and a subscriber of your channel. That's great, Dani, thank you for that. I do not have too many liquid or gaseous viewers of my channel, but thank you for being a solid one. I love your content. You are my favorite watch YouTuber. I have a question. I have an opportunity to purchase the Ball Worldtime diver for approximately $1,000. The one that you own. I happen to love that piece. Good taste. However, like you, my brain has mixed feelings about resale. I own two Rolexes, Breitling and a Seiko, and I've had many others that I have sold, flipped, and traded. I have never lost money on a piece, even a Seiko. Well, Dani, there's not many people can say that, so good for you. You, sir, are an intelligent watch buyer. You drive a hard bargain, my friend. Which I know because you didn't send me a contribution for this for this video. So I know what I'm doing for the most part. My question to you is, do you think $1,000 is even a good buy for this piece? Do you think I would lose too much if I ever decide to sell? It seems as if they are not available anymore. I never tried Ball before, and I don't have experience with them or the second-hand market. I'm not looking for a video here, just your simple thoughts. Well, Dani, I did email you my simple thoughts, and what I told you was, hey, I'm a YouTuber, okay? I'm not an emailer, so I did email you my thoughts, but I also told you there's going to be a video because you people, you're the second guy this week to write me, you know, and say, hey, you know, just tell me what you think, gentleman to gentleman. Well, I'm no gentleman, I'm a YouTuber. The goddess that is YouTube must be fed her regular quotient of raw meat, and you, sir, are the cannon fodder. But I did not use your last name as you asked. So, the Ball watch. Well, you know what? Before we go a whole lot further, let's just turn this camera around, take a close look at what this watch really is so that the fellas know what we're talking about, and then I'll respond to your questions and comments. Well, guys, what we have here is a pretty unique watch. I forget the thickness of it. I'll put that into the stats right here. But in terms of the diameter of the thing, or the width of it, it is 45 millimeters. So, well, I'll give you a quick wrist shot. You can see I have a 7¼ inch wrist, and it's not at all unmanageable. But let's be honest, it is big. Okay, so it has no dive extension, which is weird because they say it's a world timing diver, and it has no micro adjustments. However, it does have half links. So you are able to get it in pretty close, but you will not be adjusting this one on the fly. High quality bracelet with screws on both sides. No, I lied. Screws, but screws on one side. Anyway, I gotta say the bracelet is brushed, feels great. It is luxurious on the wrist. Ball do a nice wrist. Now the other thing that's really notable right away about this watch is all the tritium all over it, okay? So those Arabic numerals are actually done in tritium tubes. Those are actually like fluorescent glass, like fluorescent light tubes, except for they're teeny weeny. And they are filled with a radioactive gas, tritium, a gas, and they glow for 25 years with no charge. Actually, the half-life is 12 years, so that's really about all you're going to get out of them. After that, you'd have to replace the dial to get new tritium tubes. But it is super cool at night, and I will drop in a lume shot of this thing here. And yeah, beautiful lume. And what's lumed are the hands. There's even a little, look at this, the moving second hand coming up on the 9 there now. There's a little tritium tube at the tip of the second hand. And the Arabics are all lumed with tritium tubes. The hour marker hash marks are lumed out. And this is super cool. But you see that it has a dive bezel, which is controlled by a second crown here at 2 o'clock. Now, because it locks down, it's unidirectional, not bidirectional, but all the important numerical components of that dive watch are lumed. Okay, so that lume pip triangle, that's filled with tritium gas, as are all the markers. Okay, so the thing is unbelievably legible at night, as you saw in the lume shot, and the second crown here is for adjusting the time, the day, the date, the day, and the world time. So it's a small pain in the butt noodling everything into position so that it not only reads the correct local time, but also the correct world time. Here's how this function works, by the way. Right now, I would be using it as a dive function because I have the triangle up at 12. But if I wanted to time something such as a dive or a pizza in the oven, I would go ahead and bring the triangle down in conjunction with the minute hand. And you know, when I get to this point, I know I'm at 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20, etc. I mean, that's pretty cool, especially because of the lume. But you do have to remember to screw that crown in. It's waterproof down to like some ridiculous number of meters. I'll put that in right here. But not if you leave the crown open. So you got 2 crowns to remember to close. Okay, so this watch had, it fell apart, like something bad happened to it, which was at some point after I adjusted the watch, what had happened was the dial actually came loose in the case of the watch. Maintained its waterproofing, but you know, it took a crap. So I sent it back to Ball. It was under warranty. Great guys to deal with. It should not have done that. They were apologetic. They fixed it. They regulated the watch. And this thing is running plus 1.5 per day or something like that. It's insanely accurate now. And it's to the plus side rather than the negative side. So, you know, every few days I just pull the crown out, stop the action for an instant, push it back in, and then it's good for days of dead bang accuracy. And there's the ugly bit of artwork. Hope you can see that on the case back. It's a dude wearing a monofin. He holds the world record. René something, I forget his name. Anyway, somebody will tell me in the comments. So it's a pretty unique watch. It's a combination of a variety of weird things, which is to say a diver, lume, and world time with a day and a date. So it's got a lot of functions that you don't normally see going together, which personally I find kind of cool. Okay, so to use it in the world time function, I'm going to find my home time zone, which is, for me, it's Mexico, okay? Now, Chicago and Mexico share the same time zone, Mexico City. So on some world time watches, you'll find the designation for that time zone as Chicago. Other times, it's Mexico. And what it's showing here is my local time is, you know, what is that, like 2:25 or something, you know, close to that, right? 2:23. And if we look at New York, it's at 1500 plus something, not quite to 1530, and that is 3:30, and it's correct, and it goes all the way around the world like that, which is very neat in all those various time zones. The only thing is it doesn't adjust for daylight savings time. So some of these cities are going to be off by an hour because they don't use a daylight savings time. Chicago/Mexico does. So, or at least Chicago does. I don't know about Mexico. I think not. But anyway, it's showing Bangkok here at like at about 3:30 a.m. 0330. But that's not correct. It's 2:30 a.m. there, because they do not use daylight savings time. Okay, guys, so it has tons of functions. Let's turn the camera around and I'll give you my thoughts on Dani's questions about purchasing one. So, Dani, your proposed purchase price is $1,000, and yes, I think that's a pretty good deal. The actual price on the thing was somewhere around $2,400, and that was before Ball started like jacking up not only their prices, but also their pre-release prices, because their pre-production specials used to be insane. I bought this one for $1,250 on a pre-release special. And it was, I think, maybe the last watch that they released at such a good price. They are relatively hard to find. Once in a while you'll find them on eBay. Mind you, there were a couple versions of this thing, and you know how mine has Arabics? Well, the older versions either don't have any Arabics at all, or they only have the 12 as the Arabic, and then everything else is hashtags. So this is the latest version of it. You want to be sure that you do buy the latest version, and that it comes with, all of those Arabics versus just one of them. And then you have something that's relatively new, and you're probably still under warranty or not long out of warranty anyway. So listen, I don't think you're going to make any money on the thing, but if you buy it for $1,000 and then later you decide that you want to sell it on eBay, you would have to sell it for something around, I don't know, like maybe $1,250 to $1,300 on eBay in order to get all your money out of it, plus the commissions and fees and stuff that you'd have to pay. And quite frankly, the way it looks now, I think you'd have a fairly easy time of doing that. But don't expect it to sell quickly the way a Seiko or a Breitling might sell, because those are much better known, A, brands, and B, this is kind of like a weirdo watch, the different functions and so forth that it has are unusual. I really like it because I like a Worldtime, I like a diver, I like a fidget spinner, meaning the internal rotating bezel. I like having the day, I like having the date. I love tritium because boy does it glow at night. This is a great watch to sleep in. And I like a robust watch that you can take into the ocean and not worry about it when you're on vacation. So there's a lot to recommend for this watch. Some of you guys are going to love it. Some of you guys are going to go, ugh, I wouldn't even wear that thing. Me, I really like it. And I've owned it for, I don't know, I guess I'm coming up on 2 years, and I still haven't gotten rid of it. So this one for me is not a flipper, but like I feel like, what I paid for it and what you propose to pay, we could get out of it. Just check that condition is very good, and otherwise go right ahead. Guys, do you think Dani should buy himself one of these Ball Worldtime divers, or you think that this is an avoid? Hot or not? What do you think? This is Goldberg. Peace out.